very Buick, but also very fresh.
The stunning lack of noise is something that strikes you when you get into the vehicle.
This was definitely a groundbreaker.
Love at first sight is everything to consumers.
I would encourage our Buick sales consultants to think about this car as a Buick unlike any other Buick they've seen.
Get them inside the vehicle where they can really appreciate the attention to detail and the dramatic interior lighting.
No excuses. I mean, this car really is unsurpassed in the large car and entry Lux market, and at a great value too.
The Buick Renaissance, Enclave, and now LaCrosse. A truly luxurious premium four-door sedan. Germany, chassis design and extensive structural engineering. China, interior design and engineering. United States, exterior design and engineering. And total vehicle integration into 3 distinct models. The base CX, the mid-level CXL, and the upscale CXS.
And this is the first time that I've really seen the global play worked, where we have utilized our resources from a manufacturing, from an engineering standpoint, all around the world in order to be able to execute this vehicle.
With the LaCrosse, not only were we developing a global car, but we were also developing a global process. So what you see with the 2010 LaCrosse is not only a global car, but it's the cutting edge of global vehicle development.
The first time we were given the authority, the direction to fully take advantage of all the global talent worldwide, bring it together in one team, come up with a fantastic, meets all requirements and beyond, global mid-size car for General Motors.
As we say goodnight in North America, the team in China is picking up the baton and working the next 12 hours on our car.
This project has convinced me and many of the leaders of this company that we can move fast, totally utilize our global talent worldwide 24 hours a day. There's nothing that we can't do.
Of course, designing a car is one thing. Actually building it is something else. LaCrosse is being built in GM's Fairfax, Kansas plant, home of the Chevy Malibu, 2008 North American Car of the Year, and the Saturn Aura, 2007 North American Car of the Year.
The Chevy Malibu also was Best in Segment for Initial Quality, recently awarded by J.D. Power. So we couldn't be launching the car in a better place with a more dedicated workforce really focused on quality.
Many people have shirts that highlight the fact that for 2 years in a row, they've been building in that plant the North American Car of the Year. So there's a lot of esprit de corps. The plant personnel, the folks all the way from the operators who assemble the vehicles, the people who put the material on the line to be used, up through the leadership of the plant, is a very proud group. And we are extremely excited to bring the Buick LaCrosse into that because we believe that they've got the capability and the ability to maintain that and provide us an outstanding quality vehicle.
The 2010 Buick LaCrosse, a true global car, all coming together at one of the industry's most recognized assembly facilities.
I think that we've done a really good job in creating a car that is not too ostentatious, but it allows the customer to feel like they've attained something important or full of substance.
The overall craftsmanship, the overall sense of spaciousness inside, but more importantly, I think that it's when you look inside of this LaCrosse compared to the last LaCrosse, I'm very proud how much the vehicle has made a jump.
We have what we call intelligent technology that is what I call smart usage of technologies that the customers will use every day, but it's not overblown. Many times you can overblow some electronics and the customer is asking, why do I have this and will I ever use it?
All of the engines are very high-tech 6-cylinder engines, all 6-speed transmissions, and all featuring great fuel economy as well as balanced performance.
LaCrosse for 2010. Dramatic, sculpted, turn-your-head design. In fact, it's hard to find where the sweeping lines of LaCrosse begin and end. It's the continuation of the Buick design philosophy introduced on Enclave. Seductive and uninterrupted, the front and rear design complement each other, giving LaCrosse a sensual shape, accentuated with fluid lines that flow all around the vehicle for a feeling of continuity. A coupe-like profile belies a substantial sedan with a muscular look and sporty personality, with exterior jewelry that reinforces the premium Buick image of this car. Continuity is apparent inside LaCrosse too, where design elements transition into each other with a blending of shapes rather than intersections. The result is a harmonious blend of comfort and convenience and personal technologies. The soft-touch instrument panel is designed low and away to create an appealing sense of spaciousness for the driver and front passenger, while the innovative center stack puts the driver in full command of the vehicle, with many of the car's key controls just a fingertip's reach away. Nowhere is the Buick premium message more apparent than inside, with its blend of rich, understated materials complementing an impressive array of advanced personal technologies. Yet what is most impressive about the interior of the LaCrosse may be what is missing: noise. Thanks to Buick's signature quiet tuning process, this car is one of the quietest on the road today. LaCrosse is a technology leader. Not technology for its own sake, but sophisticated devices that greatly enhance the ownership experience. Adaptive forward lighting allows the front headlights to turn in the same direction of the vehicle, up to 15 degrees, providing better visibility while cornering. The Easy Key system is smart enough to sense the owner's approach without touching the key, and automatically turns on the interior lights and unlocks the doors, all without the traditional use of a key. An innovative head-up display that projects key information on the windshield, so the driver need not look away from the road. And a side blind zone alert system that uses radar to alert the driver to traffic entering the vehicle's blind zones. Just 4 examples of personal technologies on LaCrosse. Features that can literally be used every time your customers settle in behind the wheel. Responsive performance is another key message for the 2010 LaCrosse. 2 different V6 engines offer a choice of power and torque output, but each engine provides a sophisticated mix of performance and fuel efficiency with advanced technology. Direct fuel injection, variable valve timing, drive-by-wire throttle technology, and more. An electronically controlled 6-speed automatic transmission with tap-up, tap-down shifting enhances fuel economy, while an advanced 4-wheel independent suspension design provides a balance of comfort and control on the highway. 4-wheel disc brakes with ABS are standard, and all-wheel drive is available on the CXL model. LaCrosse for 2010, created with exhaustive attention to detail, world-class craftsmanship, and sophisticated technology to build on the success of Enclave and write the next chapter in the Buick Renaissance, attracting an entirely new type of buyer to your showrooms, younger, savvier, and more demanding.
Regarding the types of customers that this car will attract, it really was designed with quite a bandwidth in terms of the model lineup from CX to CXS. So this car will appeal to our traditional Buick buyers, but it's definitely, much like Enclave, going to reach to more affluent, younger, more educated buyers. Enclave did a great job for us. The average age of the Enclave buyer is about 10 years younger than the Buick buyers overall, and we're conquesting at about 45%.
Dramatic, luxurious, taut and sculpted. One look at this car and its premium character is apparent. It is a sedan that looks like a coupe, thanks to its dramatic profile and uninterrupted flowing lines.
beautiful lines first, dramatic lighting inside and out, and elegant jewelry. So when you look at the exterior of the vehicle, the first thing that strikes you is the beautiful curved lines that run from the front to the rear of the vehicle. Hardly any straight lines on this car.
When you look at the car, the overall proportions of the vehicle have that substance. There's a weight to the vehicle. And I don't mean weight as in like it's heavy looking. It looks like you got a lot for your money.
Second is the dramatic lighting, starting with the headlamps in the front, the turn signals in the mirrors, all the way to the beautiful LED tail lamps in the rear. And if you look at the tail lamps, the LEDs are not configured in a square or a matrix. They actually form a very graceful arc that has a very distinctive signature at night on the highway.
How well the vehicle sits on the wheels, how well the vehicle looks when it's driving down the road in relationship to everything else.
And finally, the elegant jewelry, starting with the iconic Buick waterfall grille in the front, to the graceful chrome accents around the fog lamps, the door handles, the beautiful piece along the lower edge of the doors, and of course the signature piece at the rear over the license plate.
Up front, this car is very proud of its heritage with the classic Buick waterfall grille.
That big badge in the front end is, well, that's the center point. It's on center line. It's the first thing really people look at on that grille. It's standing up. It's not laid over. It's vying for attention. It's very proud to be what it is. The grille around it, it's sort of a larger version of that badge to the rest of the car. It's been painstakingly created with multiple finishes to give it the sophistication that I think a vehicle of this type deserves.
The headlamps on LaCrosse are a perfect example of its practical beauty with the available adaptive front lighting.
The AFL is a lamp that already pre-adjusts in angles for your cornering, ahead of your cornering. As you turn the steering wheel, heading into a corner, the lamp will rotate up to 15 degrees and shine the corner ahead of you as you drive, which is a great feature. And not only is it a great feature, it's also designed into the front lamps and the jewelry of the lamps on how the styling team perform their work.
The portals on LaCrosse are on the hood, not the side, sending a clear message that yes, this is a Buick, but a dramatically new Buick.
The reason we put them on the hood is because it helps show off some of the form of the hood. Coming off of the fender, and the hood has these great little peaks that, again, emanate from sort of the edges of the grille that go all the way back up into the A-pillar.
And it's a key feature on the side of this car that differentiates it to almost any car on the road.
The LaCrosse is a roomy and spacious four-door sedan that resembles a coupe, primarily because of a creative design cue called the sweep spear.
That sweep spear is by far the most dramatic piece of that car.
Very Buick, but also very fresh.
And it's really a line that a crease in the sheet metal or the way the forms interact over the front wheel, extends down the body and over the back wheel. And it sets up the visual proportions of the body side. It sets up how heavy or light the vehicle appears. And it allows us as designers to create forms that you don't typically see on other vehicles.
The modern, sleek design for the exterior mirrors enhance the streamlined profile of the car, but also serve another very practical function.
The mirrors that you see on the 353 are the quietest mirrors in GM history.
We spent many, many hours in the wind tunnels trying to develop the shape and the size of the mirror to make sure that it isolated those noises from the passenger compartment, and basically those outside rear view mirrors are almost transparent from a noise standpoint for wind noise in our vehicle.
The sweep spear design creates a dynamic ribbon that goes rearward and then swells in the back to create not just a beautiful subtle surface in the rear door and up over the rear wheel arches, but also an enhanced feeling of substance about the car. The multi-spoke wheel design on LaCrosse enhances that substantive feel, but the choice was about more than mere cosmetics.
It needed a wheel where the spokes were substantial enough to support the weight of the body itself. It gave us the right thickness, for not too heavy versus not too light, and it also maximized the size of the wheel itself, which was real important to us.
Even the glass on LaCrosse is something special.
It's an acoustic type of a side glass that when you're driving down the road and let's say a truck comes the other way, you can not only hear the truck as it's approaching you, but in most vehicles you can hear it even as it's next to you. With acoustic laminated glass, that knocks out the enormous portion of that noise and really does a much better job of isolating the interior of the vehicle from any type of outside disturbances.
The panoramic sunroof on LaCrosse is dramatically larger than for most vehicles, greatly enhancing the riding experience of people in the rear seat.
It allows the rear passenger or the rear people to be, I guess, part of the environment, see the interior for what it is supposed to be and includes them. The benefits of that are really getting a lot of natural light into the interior and allowing the interior to be seen beautiful as it is.
The dynamic ribbon flow of the LaCrosse exterior gracefully extends to the rear, where again style meets utility. Exhaust tips are hidden on CX and CXL models, while CXS models add a distinctive luxury cue with bright, styled tips integrated into the rear fascia. All LaCrosse models feature light-emitting diode, or LED, tail lamps. And again, the advantages are both style and utility.
They light faster, they are smaller, they don't burn as hot, they don't need to be replaced as often, they use less energy. So you get more design around them to make them look as beautiful as possible with a smaller package.
With 13.3 cubic feet of volume, the LaCrosse trunk has a lot more room than you might first think.
The trunk on the LaCrosse is a little deceptive. Because of this stretched greenhouse, it has a short deck, which might give you the impression that there's not a lot of room in the deck lid, but that's not the case. As you open the deck lid, what you'll find is a very spacious area to store golf clubs, luggage, and those are the kind of things that are important in a large sedan because our customers are going to be using this to take trips, to engage in leisure activities.
Styling will be a major selling point for the new LaCrosse. The dynamic ribbon of its flowing sweep spear design helps create a coupe-like profile, and its jeweled touches and exquisite attention to detail present a bold look and feel of luxury. A choice of 8 colors strengthens the premium character of this car. LaCrosse for 2010. Beautiful, bold, and Buick.
Exterior design is extremely important to customers in the segment. In fact, in the large car segment and the mid-lux segment, it's the #1 reason for purchase, actually.
The Buick craftsmanship and premium look continues inside LaCrosse. Yet the interior of this car is more than just a pretty place to sit. It is nothing short of a rejuvenating escape from the outside world. An ordered elegance that is balanced and quiet. And most of all, the interior design creates a sense of harmony.
We knew that we had to break out of what we had from before in the past and bring it into new, fresh design. Wanted it to be something that's pretty bold, so you would read a theme from a distance.
Everything comes up together, it's in harmony. All the lighting in the interior, as you enter the car and the lighting comes up, it's from the footwell into the lighting across the IP, into the center stack. It's all in much harmony and extremely Buick, extremely ice blue, very, very elegant. And it's very, very metropolitan, which we think is exactly what the new Buick customer is looking for.
The attention to all the details. You'll see it in the stitching, in the surfacing, in the grains, the gloss levels, nice low gloss levels, natural looking and feeling. And then the open airiness too. We wanted it not to feel cramped. We wanted this open feeling that you have a lot of space, you're comfortable, quiet, serene environment.
One of the most dramatic and distinctive features inside LaCrosse is the ice blue ambient lighting.
And in the inside, there's a number of ambient lighting features, starting with a graceful blue light pipe across the IP, and then soft functional lighting that helps you find the pull cup and the inside remote handle for the door, and additional features along the sides of the center floor console.
The ambient lighting, it's very quiet. It's not poignant, it's not bright. It just glows the areas and the surfaces quietly. The ambient lighting actually enhances the overall design. They track along the surface and highlighting the horizontal design of the IP and its wood grain, and then they highlight also the console shape. And so these things, it highlights that. Then you read some of that nice detail, the stitching and things.
The LaCrosse interior is quiet, not just because of a lack of noise, but because of an understated elegance, which is why you won't find typical, shiny, in-your-face chrome accents.
We're going after, right, this warm, inviting interior. Well, that's where the bright chrome accents really don't fit in. So our answer to that was, let's tint that nice, bright pieces of chrome, give it a little bit of a warm tint, and that will make it much more appealing for the overall essence of the interior. The wood, warm chrome details, and accents, that pulls everything together even better than having a bright, shiny, coming at you kind of chrome.
Perhaps nowhere is attention to detail on LaCrosse more apparent than in its interior stitching. Real stitching, that is, not the molded-in fake stuff.
Buick wants it to be that hand-stitched look, right down to the IP, the little hood that's on top of the cluster area, all hand-stitched, wrapped. It's that attention to detail that really makes a difference, and even its color, which you'll see it being enhancing the color of the interior. Then you'll see a contrasting stitch. These things really give you the whole sense that, wow, these guys went the extra step.
Perhaps the most dramatic feature inside the LaCrosse is the unique integrated center stack, providing quick and easy access to numerous vehicle features. Merging seamlessly with the center console, the center stack is easy to see, access, and use.
You have a lot of content in this vehicle. The Buick is loaded with heated steering wheels and those kind of details that add a challenge to designing a center area that can be easily read, easily controlled, easily touched within a driver's touch, and they can get to it real quick. You literally have a second or two off the road and you want to get back to it.
Sales consultants need to become very familiar with the center stack area, particularly the controls. There are a lot of new features in this car, and the location of some of the controls are in positions which are unfamiliar to their existing buyers. So sales consultants are going to want to get intimately familiar with this so that they can overcome the initial fear that their customers might experience getting into the car for the first time.
Another unique feature on LaCrosse is the electronic parking brake. Once more, style and utility.
We added just an electronic park brake, was just a very simple switch that's on the console. What that does is provide some packaging flexibility so that from a styling standpoint, and even from a usability standpoint, our customers now have a much more beautiful and much more functional center console because you don't have the parking brake to have to package. If you want to set your park brake, of course, all you need to do is take a switch and pull up on it. You'll hear a very faint noise which will indicate that the park brake is working, and of course you'll get an indicator on the dash. If you're wanting to then release the park brake, you have to make sure you have your foot on the regular brake, the service brake, and then you can push down on the button which will then release the parking brake.
The comfort of LaCrosse is obvious from the moment you first sit down. A variety of seating surfaces are available, all crafted with not just incredible attention to detail, but with an eye toward the total harmonious interior. Premium cloth is featured on CX seats. On CXL models, they're leather appointed, and on CXS models, the seats are perforated leather appointed. In many cars, even luxury vehicles, rear seating is essentially an afterthought. Not so with LaCrosse.
The seating itself is very close to a theater seating setup. It has a very nice large center console that'll fold out of the seat for your cup holders and storage, and it's in the right position for the elbow and from door to the center console. The foot room is not only large, your knee room is quite large, over 80 to 100 millimeters of knee room for your 50th percentile normal customer back there. Very, very cushy, soft seat system back there. The rear position of the center console is set up so you can transfer your slide back and forth and/or still comfortable for even the center seat.
The theater-style environment in the back seat isn't just based on elevated rear seats. Considering the availability of a first-in-class DVD system with the screens integrated into the front seat backs.
LaCrosse will appeal to a broad section of people, but it'll definitely appeal to people that have families. First of all, the rear seat room is very, very spacious, and we have a lot of personal technologies in the car, like rear seat DVD that are mounted on the seat backs, dual seat backs. We have an ability to record your own music and store it in the car. So there's a lot of features, Bluetooth connectivity that really would be very advantageous to people with families and keeping everybody entertained.
An available power rear sunshade is one more example of the attention LaCrosse gives to rear seat passengers. An available USB port allows convenient connection for various digital media. And available Bluetooth for phone provides seamless operation of Bluetooth-compatible phones. Yet for everything the LaCrosse offers on the inside, what is most important may be what is missing: noise.
When you get in a vehicle, you start driving the vehicle, it strikes you the fact that there's a lack of noise, that the road noise you might have been familiar with in previous vehicles you had, or the engine noise, all of a sudden isn't there.
When we set out to develop the new LaCrosse, we put at the top of the list for the most important win for this car something we call library quiet. A great passenger environment where you can easily have a conversation with the people in the car without any strain.
We took a number of very extreme measures to make sure that our vehicle was exceptionally quiet. We took particular care in the sealing of the vehicle, the windows, the glass, the way that we sealed the doors to the body, the type of acoustic treatments that we used in the vehicle, all premium, all there absolutely to make sure that we isolated the customer from any of those noises.
Inside the 2010 LaCrosse, an understated yet elegant harmony in one of the quietest vehicle environments available anywhere in the world.
Quietness is very important to the traditional Buick buyer, but really to everybody in the luxury car segment. And actually, quietness is kind of a luxury cue to a lot of people. And we have put probably even more emphasis on the quiet tuning process, which is this trademark process that Buick has had in the last few vehicles that we've come out with. This should by far be the quietest vehicle in the segment.
The 2010 Buick LaCrosse is a highly advanced automobile. Its sophisticated technology provides an unprecedented level of comfort, convenience, and connectivity for the driver and passengers. That convenience starts even before entering the car, thanks to the available Easy Key Passive Entry, Passive Start system, which allows the driver to unlock and start the vehicle without use of a key. The system automatically unlocks the driver's door, or all doors, and turns on the interior lights when the driver approaches the vehicle, and locks all doors when the driver touches the pad on the outside door handle. It also automatically arms and disarms the standard theft deterrent system. The available voice and touch activated navigation system can be commanded by voice commands or a touch screen, which can also control radio functions. A hard drive provides extensive navigation data and the ability to download and store approximately 2,500 songs. The 8-inch screen is easy to read, and the system also includes MP3 playback. One of the most advanced systems on LaCrosse is the available Side Blind Zone Alert System, a technology that uses radar sensors behind the fascias to greatly enhance driver visibility by indicating when other vehicles have entered LaCrosse's blind spots. The available head-up display projects essential information for the driver on the windshield, so the driver need not look away from the road for this data. The head-up display lets the driver select the amount of information displayed with 3 different choices.
Well, technology is very important in the luxury space in terms of the car market, and LaCrosse is really unsurpassed, I think, in the large car and in entry-lux segments that it's going to compete in. We have things like side blind zone detection that many of the products don't have. We have heads-up display, which a lot of the products don't have. And then we have things like rear seat entertainment and navigation systems. Bluetooth connectivity, the ability to plug in your iPod and leave it in your glove compartment and control that with your radio, the ability to download music onto a hard drive in the car and basically have your iPod built in the car whenever you get into it. So I think we really have taken the whole technology piece of this vehicle to a whole new place.
Of course, LaCrosse provides 1 year of OnStar's directions and connections plan as standard equipment. This plan provides Advanced Automatic Crash Notification, AACN, Stolen Vehicle Location Assistance, access to voice-activated hands-free telephone service, roadside assistance, as well as turn-by-turn navigation, ride assist, and directory information and recommendations. eNav and destination download are also standard for 1 year. Safety will be a major selling point for LaCrosse because it's designed to be one of the safest cars in its segment. Though not yet certified, the highest possible safety ratings are anticipated. Accident prevention is paramount in any safety strategy. And that's why LaCrosse has so many features to avoid problems, including standard 4-wheel disc brakes with ABS, StabiliTrak with traction control, tire pressure monitoring system, redundant steering wheel controls, and daytime running lamps, as well as available features including all-wheel drive with electronic slip differential, high-intensity discharge headlamps, rear park assist, rear view video camera, auto dimming inside rear view mirror, auto dimming outside rear view mirrors, side blind zone alert system, and head-up display. Should an accident occur, the LaCrosse driver and passengers are well protected with safety cage construction and front and rear crush zones. Multiple airbags, including the following as standard: dual-level driver and front passenger with automatic suppression, front thorax pelvic, and roof-mounted head curtain. Rear thorax airbags are also available. The list goes on to include lockable head restraints, front shoulder belt load limiters, dual pretensioners for front seat belts, and a collapsible brake pedal bracket pedal release. LaCrosse is a highly sophisticated vehicle, offering an impressive list of technically advanced features. Not technology for technology's sake, but components and systems that enhance convenience, comfort, connectivity, and safety. Beneath the exterior beauty of the 2010 Buick LaCrosse is a very responsive automobile, offering a choice of 2 advanced V6 engines, an efficient 6-speed automatic transmission, 4-wheel disc brakes with ABS, and a sophisticated 4-wheel independent suspension system. The performance story for any vehicle starts under the hood, and for LaCrosse, that story has 2 chapters. The standard engine on CX and CXL models is a 3.0-liter V6 with direct fuel injection and variable valve timing. It produces 255 horsepower and 217 foot-pounds of torque. The CXS features a 3.6-liter V6 that kicks out 280 horsepower and 259 foot-pounds of torque. It too features direct injection and variable valve timing.
Both of them have plenty of power. The car feels very good. The power to weight ratio is balanced nicely. And then at the same time, it's very, very competitive in fuel economy. If you compare against any of the competitors, all the way up to the Lexus, when you look at it, we are plus or minus or within a mile per gallon of them, and in some cases more powerful. Some cases faster 0 to 60 time at an equivalent miles per gallon both city and highway.
Each engine is mated to an electronically controlled 6-speed automatic transmission with tap-up, tap-down shifting. The design and packaging of LaCrosse's transmission even provides more room in the passenger cabin. In terms of steering, all LaCrosse models feature a power rack and pinion design. CXL and CXS models feature an upgraded magnetic variable assist system for outstanding road feel and maneuverability. And the car's 38.7-foot turning diameter is tighter than that of the Chrysler 300 Limited, one of its key competitors. LaCrosse's suspension design provides a unique blend of the stiffness performance-oriented customers want and the plush, comfortable ride sought by traditional luxury buyers. Developed in Germany, this Autobahn-friendly chassis delivers a taut vehicle, the stiffest yet produced by GM for a vehicle in this segment. Yet it does not lose Buick's refined performance brand character, thanks to a special tuning of suspension and steering components. The result is a balanced vehicle, a performance sedan that is very comfortable to ride in. The front of LaCrosse features McPherson struts, while a 4-link design is featured in the rear on CX and CXS models. And an H-arm design is used on the CXL and CXS models with the touring package. CXS models can also be equipped with a real-time damping suspension that reads the road up to 500 times a second to continually adjust to changes in terrain, as well as the owner's personal driving style. The CXS driver can select the Sport mode, which increases steering efforts and provides a firmer suspension. StabiliTrak, including full-function traction control, is standard on all models. The intelligent all-wheel drive system available on LaCrosse CXL models is one of the most advanced systems of its kind. Combined with an electronic limited-slip differential, all-wheel drive helps optimize traction by distributing power to the wheels with the most grip. In low traction situations, it can send up to 85% of engine torque to any wheel, front to back and side to side. Many other systems only do front to back. Seamlessly integrated with StabiliTrak and traction control, LaCrosse's all-wheel drive system helps CXL models handle dry, wet, and snowy roads. So, you've got just a few minutes to impress a customer with the Buick LaCrosse for 2010. Let's hear what the people who are bringing this car to market would say.
If I only had a few minutes to talk about it, it's just the obvious, how from a styling standpoint, it's a beautiful vehicle. The second thing is the isolation from a noise standpoint. I think that's really a very, very key portion of what this vehicle is all about. I would ask them to drive it. I would ask them to spend some time behind the wheel, feel how from a road isolation standpoint, it's second to none.
I would encourage our Buick sales consultants to think about this car as a Buick unlike any other Buick they've seen. It truly is the most beautiful car I've ever had the opportunity to work on. A great follow-up to the Enclave in the showroom.
What would I be trying to emphasize to them would be the overall craftsmanship, the overall sense of spaciousness inside. But more importantly, I think that it's when you look inside of this LaCrosse compared to the last LaCrosse, I'm very proud of how much the vehicle has made a jump. With my engineering support, it is a dramatic new look for Buick and very fresh look for Buick.
The beautiful exterior appearance would be evident. But if I only had 5 minutes to spend with a relative, a friend, or a prospective customer, what I'd really want to do is get them inside the vehicle where they can really appreciate the attention to detail and the dramatic interior lighting.
LaCrosse is really just a world-class sedan that it makes no excuses in any area that you look at. If you look at the architecture or the structure of the car or the handling, it's world-class. If you look at the styling, it's absolutely stunningly beautiful, and I think when you're on the road and you see this on the road, it's going to look like something, very different. From an interior craftsmanship standpoint, the materials that were used, the live stitching, as soon as you get in this car, the ambient lighting, it just exudes luxury. And you talk about the technology that this car offers. Again, really matches anybody in the marketplace. When you've got side blind zone detection, you've got heads-up display, nav systems, a hard drive that you can download your own music to in the car. So it's got technology in spades as well. And then if you look at the powertrain lineup that we have, it's absolutely high-tech, 6-speed transmissions, no excuses. I mean, this car really is unsurpassed in the large car and entry-lux market, and at a great value too.
LaCrosse for 2010. Bold, beautiful, Buick. The 2010 Buick LaCrosse has a number of worthy competitors in the premium full-size four-door sedan segment. Let's see how it measures up against 4 key competitors. First, the Acura TL. Since its introduction in 1996, the TL has consistently been Acura's best seller. The 2009 model is new, wider, longer, and with more interior room. The Performance Type S has been replaced with the SH-AWD, super handling all-wheel drive, with a sport-tuned suspension and 3.7-liter 305 horsepower V6. Inside, LaCrosse has dramatically more rear room than the TL, almost 3 inches additional legroom. The TL does offer an impressive list of technology, but as you can see, it comes at a steep price. The base MSRP is above $35,000, and as you can see, that price goes north of $40,000 in a hurry. Still, there is a lot of LaCrosse technology missing on the Acura TL, no matter what you pay, including quiet tuning, ambient lighting, head-up display, integrated center stack, integrated dual display DVD system, side blind zone alert, and OnStar. LaCrosse delivers responsive performance on regular unleaded fuel, while TL buyers must buy premium to maximize their car's performance. And LaCrosse has a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, compared to 6 years and 70,000 miles for the Acura. Add it all up, and LaCrosse is the better value. The Lexus ES350 is another strong competitor to LaCrosse. The ES350 has been the best-selling Lexus for nearly 15 years. Built in Japan off the Toyota Camry platform, the ES350 clearly benefits from the halo of the Lexus luxury image. But when we move from image to reality, the ES350 comes up short against LaCrosse, literally. The LaCrosse is simply more car, taller, wider, and almost 6 inches longer, even though EPA mileage ratings for the 2 cars are virtually identical. Oh, and speaking of gas, LaCrosse runs on regular fuel, while the Lexus requires premium, a cost disadvantage every time ES350 owners visit the gas pump. The LaCrosse size advantage is most apparent in the rear, where LaCrosse has better than a 3-inch advantage over the ES350 in additional legroom. LaCrosse has more maximum horsepower and torque than the ES350, along with available all-wheel drive, which is not offered on the Lexus. Actually, there are a lot of LaCrosse features that aren't available on the ES350. LED tail lamps, ambient lighting, head-up display, integrated center stack, quiet tuning, dual-seat rear DVD system, side blind zone alert, and of course, OnStar. XM radio, along with a complimentary free 3-month subscription, is standard on every LaCrosse model. On the Lexus, not only do buyers have to pay $486 for the radio, but they have to pay subscription fees from day one. Which leads us to the value question. The Lexus ES350 is priced thousands of dollars higher than the Buick LaCrosse. Are your customers really willing to spend thousands of dollars more for the Lexus name? especially considering that it was Buick, not Lexus, on top of the latest J.D. Power Vehicle Dependability Study. Another strong competitor to LaCrosse will be the flagship passenger car of Toyota, the Avalon. Introduced as a 1995 model, the current vehicle is the third-generation car, with each restyling making the car a little larger and less conservative in appearance. And while the look of the Avalon may be more contemporary than it used to be, this car still has traditional written all over it. For example, there is no performance version a la the LaCrosse CXS. Toyota discontinued the Touring Edition following the 2008 model year. And all-wheel drive is not available on Avalon. Also, the LaCrosse produces more maximum horsepower and torque than the Avalon. Plus, LaCrosse has a wider front and rear track. Standard wheels on the Avalon are only 16 inches. Customers can pay extra for 17-inch wheels, which are standard on LaCrosse. 18 and 19-inch wheels are not available on the Toyota, as they are on the LaCrosse. Actually, there are a lot of LaCrosse features you won't find on the Avalon. Quiet tuning, head-up display, integrated center stack, LED tail lamps, rear park assist, ambient lighting, integrated dual display DVD system, side blind zone alert, and OnStar. More power, more technology, a performance model, and a better powertrain warranty. It all points to LaCrosse as the value choice. The Chrysler 300 Limited is a significant domestic competitor to LaCrosse. Reintroduced 4 years ago, the 300 made a big splash with its bold styling and Hemi engine. And while that initial buzz has faded somewhat, the 300 remains the flagship of Chrysler with a broad lineup and price range. Although the Limited is an upscale entry in the broad 300 lineup, there are some serious gaps in feature content. For example, Chrysler's highly touted Hemi performance engines are not available on the Limited. And LaCrosse beats the Limited in standard and available horsepower and maximum torque. Even with that disadvantage in power, Chrysler recommends using mid-grade unleaded fuel in the 300 Limited all-wheel drive model. All LaCrosse models use less expensive regular unleaded. The Limited also lacks a 6-speed electronically controlled transmission. And side airbags and side curtain airbags are optional. There's plenty else on LaCrosse that is missing on the 300 Limited. For example, LED tail lamps, adaptive forward lighting, head-up display, an integrated center stack, quiet tuning, ice blue ambient lighting, passive entry, passive start, a rear entertainment system with dual screens, the side blind zone alert, OnStar, and more. And when you consider that the 300 Limited MSRP starts in the high 30,000s and approaches $40,000 for the all-wheel drive version, then LaCrosse's value advantage is obvious. The Buick LaCrosse for 2010, standing out from the crowd.